Welcome to the Deep Dive. We cut through the noise, get right to the point. Now, if you're creating content, maybe running a small business online, or even just sharing bits of your life, you know how powerful music is on social media. Seriously, think about it. How many times have you been scrolling, mindlessly almost, and then some tune just grabs you, makes you stop, maybe even scroll back up? Engage.
Oh, absolutely. It happens all the time.
Yeah, the right track can totally transform a post, makes it exciting or
Yeah.
emotional.
Just memorable.
It really is like a secret weapon for engagement, you could say.
It is, but, and this is a big but, right? There's a real price, potentially a high one, for using the wrong song.
Yeah, that's where it gets tricky.
Exactly. Music's fantastic for hooking people in, but if you skip the copyright rules, well, you could be looking at some nasty surprises.
Things like takedown notices.
Yeah, frustrating takedowns, maybe losing your whole account even.
Or worse, yeah, those financial penalties can be hefty.
Definitely a headache nobody needs. Especially when all you wanted was to add a good vibe, you know?
So our mission today, this deep dive, it's all about getting a handle on music copyright for social media. We want to give you, the listener, a shortcut, help you get informed so you can use music's power without that legal stress hanging over you.
So you can create freely, but also legally and confidently.
Precisely. So how are we going to tackle this? It can feel a bit complex.
It can seem that way sometimes.
Okay, so first, we'll bust some common myths, the ones that often trip people up.
Good place to start.
Then, we'll explore the safe, legal ways to actually find music for your posts, where to look.
Practical options, yeah.
And finally, we need to touch on platform specifics, because the rules aren't always the same everywhere, right? What works on TikTok might not fly on Instagram, for example.
That's a really important layer, the platform rules. Definitely.
Okay, let's jump right in. Let's start with maybe the biggest misconception out there.
Okay.
So many people, and I was guilty of this when I started too, we assume, hey, this song's on Spotify, it's on YouTube, I can just grab it and use it.
Right. It feels accessible, so it should be usable.
Exactly. But there's a huge difference between just listening to music and having the right to use it in your own stuff, isn't there?
Absolutely. That's the core misunderstanding. Listening rights versus reuse rights. They're not the same thing at all. When you stream a song, say on YouTube or TikTok, you've basically got permission to listen for your own enjoyment, personal consumption.
Okay, just listening.
Yeah. But that permission, it doesn't automatically mean you can then take that track and stick it in your own video, your own post. Uploading it like that without getting specific permission first. That almost always breaks copyright law. And it usually breaks the platform's own rules, too, their terms of service.
Ah, right. Both copyright law and the platform rules.
Yeah. And that leads to the question creators ask, well, if I can stream it here, why can't I use it here?
Yeah, why not?
Because the purpose is different. One is just enjoying it yourself. The other is creating something new with it, potentially distributing it widely. That requires a whole different type of license.
That makes sense.
And it's that distinction, consumption versus creation, that catches a lot of people out, leads to unintentional trouble.
That really clears it up. Consumption versus creation. Like buying a cinema ticket lets you watch the movie,
Yeah,
but you can't then chop it up and show clips yourself.
exactly. Same principle.
Okay, so if we can't just grab any song we like the sound of, what are the options? How do we legally add music? Where should you start looking?
Right. So to avoid the infringement headaches, the most direct way is always using officially licensed music.
Officially licensed, got it.
And luckily, there are a few good ways for you to find that. Often, the best first place to check is actually the social media platforms themselves. You know, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. They all have their own built-in music libraries.
Ah, the ones right there in the app when you're making a post.
Precisely. Those collections are generally your safest bet because the platforms have already sorted out the licensing for use within their service.
Okay.
You just pick a song from their library, add it to your video or story, and usually you're good to go.
That sounds pretty easy.
It is, but there's a really crucial caveat here, something you absolutely need to check.
Okay, what's that?
Those platform licenses. They typically cover personal or non-commercial use.
Ah, so not for businesses.
Well, that's where it gets important. If you're a creator trying to monetize, or if you're a brand using the post for promotion, like advertising a product or service, you must double-check if the specific license for that track allows commercial use. It's not always automatic.
Right, so even in the platform library, you need to look closer if it's for business.
Exactly. Overlooking that bit. That can land you right back in copyright trouble, even if you thought you were safe using their library.
Good to know. So what else besides the platform libraries?
Well, beyond those, another excellent option is to look at dedicated royalty-free and stock music libraries.
Okay, places like Epidemic Sound, Artlist,
Yeah.
those kinds of services.
Yes, exactly. Premium Beat is another one. These companies specialize in providing music with licenses designed for various uses, very often including social media and even commercial use.
So their licenses are clearer about business use.
Generally, yes, that's their whole business model.
Okay.
For brands or for creators who are serious about monetization, buying a proper license from one of these services is often a really smart move.
Like an investment.
Definitely. Think about it. The cost of a subscription or a single-track license is usually tiny compared to the potential cost of fighting an infringement claim down the line.
Makes sense.
So these services give you clear, actionable ways to find music without that constant worry. Gives you peace of mind, you know?
That's super helpful. Okay, so we have platform libraries,
Right.
check the commercial use, and then dedicated stock music sites.
Right.
Now, something else we hear tossed around a lot is fair use.
Ah, yes, fair use.
That kind of sounds like this magic key, doesn't it? Like, oh, I'll just use a tiny clip, like 10 seconds, that's fair use.
The magic bullet idea.
Yeah. Is that really how it works?
Yeah.
Can you just use a short snippet under fair use?
No, that's probably one of the biggest and potentially most costly myths out there.
Okay. Tell us why.
Well, lots of creators think fair use is this broad permission slip. But legally, fair use is actually a very narrow defense against a claim of copyright infringement. It's not a right to just use stuff.
A defense, not a right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it usually only applies in very specific situations. Things like commentary, parody, criticism, news reporting, education.
So using it to transform the original work somehow.
Pretty much. Where the use adds something new, has a different purpose, and crucially doesn't damage the market for the original song, simply grabbing a clip because, it sounds cool or it really makes my video pop,
Yeah.
that almost never qualifies as fair use. The length of the clip, whether it's 5 seconds or 30 seconds, it doesn't really matter if the reason you're using it doesn't fit those specific legal categories.
So the 10-second rule is basically a myth.
It's a total myth. Trust me, so many creators get into hot water relying on that idea. They think they're covered, but they're actually wide open to copyright claims.
Wow.
Understanding that narrowness, that's really vital protection for you and your content.
Okay, that's a huge clarification. Definitely debunks a common belief. So we've covered finding legal music sources, and we've tackled the fair use trap. But let's say you've done everything right. You've got licensed music. Does it end there? Or does how and where you share it also matter? Are there, platform-specific rules even after you have the rights to the song?
Yes, absolutely. Even with legally sourced music, the way you use it within a specific platform's environment can still have its own rules and limitations.
Okay.
These often fall under what the platforms call their user-generated content policies, or UGC policy.
UGC policies, right.
Essentially, these are the platform's own house rules about how you, the user, can interact with copyrighted material on their service. It helps them manage their own legal risks and balance things with copyright holders.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Think about live streaming. Instagram and Facebook, for instance, they have pretty strict limits on how much background music you can have playing during a live broadcast.
Even if you license the song?
Even then, yeah. You might have a license to use that song in a pre-recorded video you upload, but their live stream policy might still flag it or limit your stream.
Huh. Okay, interesting.
Any others?
Another good example is YouTube. Now, YouTube's Content ID system is complex, but sometimes it might allow you to use certain popular songs that aren't in its free library.
Okay. What's the catch?
The catch is often monetization. Ads might get placed on your video.
Right.
And all the revenue generated from those ads, it could go directly to the copyright owner of the music, not to you.
Ah. So you get the engagement, maybe the views.
Exactly. You get to use the song, your video stays up, but you don't make any money from it. The platform and the rights holder do. It's fascinating, really, how platforms were constantly trying to juggle creator freedom with the rights and, frankly, the financial interests of the music industry.
It really is a balancing act. So knowing these platform-specific details, it empowers you, the creator, to understand the full picture. Even after you've secured the music rights, you know how it might actually play out on that specific app. Helps avoid unwelcome surprises.
Yeah, definitely sounds like reading the fine print for each platform is key.
Yeah, it really is.
Okay, so this brings up a final scenario. What if? What if you have your absolute heart set on using a specific song, maybe a really famous, popular track,
Okay.
and it's not in the platform libraries, it's not on the stock music sites, and it's definitely not fair use?
Right. The dream track.
Yeah. Is there any way to use that legally? What's the sort of ultimate safety net?
Well, if we're talking about the ultimate legal protection, especially for those big, well-known songs, the safest path, though it's often the most complicated and potentially expensive,
Hmm.
is to get direct permission, a direct license
From
from the actual copyright owners. This usually means negotiating a license directly with the music publisher who controls the song composition and potentially the record label who controls the specific recording.
Wow, okay. That sounds involved.
It absolutely can be. It's rarely a quick or simple process. It can take a lot of time, often involves paying a significant licensing fee,
Right.
and you might even need legal help or a music licensing specialist to sort out the terms.
So, not exactly practical for every single post.
Definitely not for everyday use for most creators, but if that specific song is absolutely crucial for your project, for your brand campaign, whatever it is,
Hmm.
securing that direct license is the gold standard. It gives you the highest possible level of legal certainty, removes all doubt, all risk of infringement for that particular use.
So it really comes down to weighing the cost and effort against how important that specific song is.
Precisely. It forces you to ask, how much is this exact track really worth to my content? Am I prepared to invest the time, the money, the effort to get these explicit rights?
It's the ultimate safety net, but maybe one you only use when absolutely necessary.
That's a good way to put it. It's the guarantee when all the easier options just won't work for what you need. You're completely in the clear.
Okay, that's an incredibly thorough look at this. We've gone from the common mistakes right through to the gold standard.
Covered a lot of ground.
Yeah. So let's try and wrap this up. Let's bring it all together for you, our listener. What are the absolute key things to remember from this deep dive?
Okay.
First, I'd say, always prioritize licensed music. Don't just grab things. Use the platform libraries.
Yeah.
Use the stock music services.
And check those license terms, especially for commercial use. Don't assume free access means free use.
Exactly. Second big takeaway. Understand the specific rules of each platform you use. They all have their quirks, their own policies, especially around things like commercial content or live streams.
Platform specifics matter.
And third, critically, know that fair use is very, very narrow. It's a specific legal defense, not a free-for-all pass to use clips. Don't fall into that trap.
Yeah, that's crucial.
We've talked a lot about the rules, the risks, the what-ifs, but let's just quickly reiterate why this matters. Social media thrives on creativity, right? And music is such a massive part of that creative energy.
It really elevates content, creates connection.
Totally. It makes posts stick. So understanding these rules, it isn't about killing your creativity. Not at all.
No, it's about protecting it.
Exactly. Protecting yourself, protecting the work you put out there from those potentially really costly mistakes. It's about creating with confidence.
Knowing you're doing it right.
Yeah. So final thought then. What does all this mean for you going forward? Maybe consider this. We live in a world just overflowing with sound, right? Every platform offers endless music choices.
So many options.
But maybe the real artistry, the real skill isn't just picking the perfect track that fits your video's vibe. It's also about choosing it wisely, choosing it legally. So, as you go off and craft your next piece of content, your next story, think about how understanding these rules can actually empower your creativity. How will it shape the soundtrack you choose?
Interesting question to ponder.
Something to think about. We'll catch you on the next Deep Dive.